Now then, Ruben has lost it. He has given the players a right good old dressing down, apparently. We're going to get into that tonight on the live show. Welcome to Forever United TV, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Get your comments in the live section. We are talking about Ruben. What happened at Carrington today? Go through all of the information and extras as well on what is happening. Injury updates from Carrington, good and bad for Manchester United, it would seem. We're going to get into that as well. Onana turned back up at training today with a spring in his step after watching Bayindir's performance yesterday. He must be confident about getting back in the Manchester United side. Yeah, okay. He was also with his agent. What does that mean? We're going to talk about what Romano said about Onana as well today in terms of his move away and the definite potential in this happening this summer. We got that to come up with. Chido is playing against Wolves under 21s tonight, but sources say he could actually be playing against Wolves this weekend as well. Obviously, as we know, Chido is not eligible to play in the Europa League. Again, a really annoying one. That's considering now we have lost Joshua Zirkzee. Scan results are still not in just yet on him either, so we're just waiting for the updates on that one still. So we'll bring that to you as soon as we can. Obviously, I will talk about the other injury updates as well. Important ones for Manchester United later on in the show, but we're starting with the main event. And the main event, it's talking like... there's been another Barney, don't they, at Manchester United? Oh, God, that riled some people. It really did, didn't it? The fact that some people cannot deal with other people knowing other stuff that they don't know. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? But look, the United fans at the moment are baying for blood. They want to know why we are so shit. They want to know why these players continue to underperform. They are blaming the manager. There has been a bit of a turn. And I think the United fans now are starting to question, inevitably, Ruben Amorim. Again, another manager under the cosh because of these players. When will this club ever change? When is it going to change? Ruben is trying. He's trying everything he can with his hands tied behind his back. Although he freed his hands today and he brought the players in to an emergency meeting at Carrington where apparently he lost his shit. He went in full rage monster mode and told the players what not. And you've all seen the tweets, you've all seen the information that is out there. It is really interesting. I'm just going to read it actually, just so you're all completely up to date. If you haven't seen this, then this basically is what has happened. So, Ruben Amorim was fuming this morning, and rightly so. Meet and greet with kids cancelled. Emergency first team meeting. Players getting a huge bollocking is the word from Silly Talks. No one dared to speak was the word coming out of Carrington today. It was that clear that there was no place or argument for anybody to speak up for themselves, really. You just got beat again, and you are officially the worst team in Manchester United's Premier League history. So really, yeah, you keep quiet, don't you, at that point? It's like when you're being told off as a school kid, innit, by the headmaster. You just got to sit there and take it. It's not acceptable. And these players have been told. The message was clear, he also says here as well. Have until the end of the season to fix up or you're out. Well, we know there's quite a few players that are not going to fix up. I made a short earlier on today criticising the likes of Garnacho, Dalot, Eriksson and Lindelof. There's a lot of people that have had issue with Harry Massey's performance. Look, stay away from the academy players right now. There are bigger fish to fry, and the ones that are on the grill right now are Man United's first team players, and they are being grilled by our head coach Ruben Amorim. It's about time. And do you know what? The fact that everything is being leaked out right now at Manchester United, at Carrington, I actually think it's because nobody gives a shit. No one cares about their job right now. Nobody cares because everybody could be losing their jobs at the end of this month. Maybe there is something linked in with the date of the 28th of this month where staff are going to find out if they've lost a job. There are going to be more cuts at Manchester United. And apparently there are a lot of staff worrying about this. So no wonder nobody's really bothered about what's coming out of the club right now. And do you know what? I think the staff are probably looking at this and they're probably thinking, do you know what? The fans probably do want to know. They should know as well. And they should see that Ruben Amorim is trying to make an effort here. He has been brought into this mess, and he's trying to change things. And the world needs to know it. The world needs to know that Ruben is not holding anything back, and he's getting into these players, and he's holding them accountable for every single action on the pitch. There is no soft soaping or bubble wrapping these players up anymore. It's time to put up or shut up, as they say, and get out the bleeding club. And that's all that Manchester United fans want to hear. I tweeted out before earlier on and said, look, the important thing about backing Ruben Amorim is probably more to a point where he's allowed to kick players out of his club and not have to worry about the circumstances. That's how you back a coach. You back him by getting rid of the poison that is still in this club. And I don't mean that as to say these players are deliberately trying to ruin Manchester United. I say it metaphorically, like this is the poison and the virus which is going around Manchester United. It's still lingering around. It's quite clear. Gary Neville's made a big point of it today on Sky as well, talking about the players looking like they're making the effort. Whereas before we had quality players, class players, but it was a lack of effort. It's not like there's a lack of effort in this team. And you know what? I do agree with him to a certain extent that there is a bit of effort going in from these players. Except yesterday there wasn't. Other games you could say they were fighting, they were close, but when you get beat 4-1 and you go out with a whimper like that, then there really is questions going to be asked. And this just brings everyone to the fore and the conversation, really, doesn't it? It just brings all of the fans in, all the pundits in. When you lose 4-1 without kicking up a stink or throwing one punch, essentially, then everybody's going to go to town on this. So whichever way you look at the situation with Ruben and the players, really, we know that this has been an issue before, but we have got something actually trying to counteract it now. And that's the only thing that I can cling on to in hope. I hope that Ruben does get the treatment. I hope he does get everything that every other manager has had at this football club. And he has got new players to work with next summer. But it's going to take a hell of a long time to get rid of everything and bring in a new bunch of players. You could argue there are certain players at this football club right now that have got qualities and a future possibly. And we may see that potential, but we will only see that potential if things change at Manchester United. And I think that's the ultimate way of looking at this. The dressing down that Ruben Amorim is giving these players has to be backed up by the club. That's your backing right there. If you are backing your coach, then he clearly has gone into this meeting today and he's got everybody sat down, he's looked them all in the face, and he's absolutely laid it out to them clear that the futures of this football club for these players is definitely up in the air right now. I don't know how you can say that to a whole squad, because clearly we can't get rid of everybody. I think they're just doing it to everyone to make it clear like it's a whole team thing instead of bringing individuals in. You know, you address your full team. You don't pick out an individual. Maybe in conversations outside, privately, you tell the other players that you're really not having a go at that. It wasn't really aimed at them, but you have to make it look like it's a combined thing, because really, when you look at it, you couldn't argue with any one of them players being absolutely blasted after yesterday's performance. Everybody was absolute shite. And we said it yesterday. We said it this morning. Everybody's been saying the same thing. And I think this is why, right now, everybody's going in on Ruben Amorim. Maybe United themselves have leaked this just to stem the flow of the hate that's growing. Hate's probably the wrong word to use. Just the negativity towards Ruben Amorim. Would not put it past Man United to actually leak this out, just to actually get a little bit of positive vibe behind Ruben a little bit. But again, it sort of then goes the other way and you're going against the players. The fans need to get behind something. If they don't see anything on the pitch, it starts to deteriorate. And that's what's happening to Manchester United right now. The fans clearly see the issue within these players, and it's hard. Even when you're there every single week, and you know you've got to get behind the players. And we do. They get all of the support that they don't deserve. They get all the support that they can get from this fan base, but it's still not enough for them. They still cannot bring themselves to be any better. And maybe it probably is because of what, like Gary Neville said, they just aren't good enough, and they haven't got the quality to handle it. They're giving everything, but they can't. Honestly, in terms of the effort side of things, I didn't see enough yesterday, personally. I didn't. I think there was a lot of players there thinking that there was a bigger game on Thursday. And this is what this team has done throughout the years. You look at what happened under Ten Hag. You look at some of these players. All of a sudden, we decide to turn up right at the end of a shit season and go and beat Man City in a cup final. When the sun was out, when everyone was watching, it was a Manchester derby, the big occasion. Everybody in that Man United squad turned up and thought, I can show everyone now. Forget about the rest of the season that was shit. No, it doesn't matter. Let's just play in this one game. And it does feel that way now. All of a sudden, we're turning into this cup team where these players decide that they want to play in the cups where it really matters. And then you get comments like what Onana came out with. I have managed to win trophies at this amazing club, unlike some people. Like, seriously, mate, you didn't contribute jack shit to Manchester United winning that FA Cup. Like, get in your lane. Honestly, like, some of the players think, and Andre Onana, for me, has proved it. There are players within Manchester United now, inside the squad, that think they've actually made it and are actually doing a good job. Honestly, it's mind-blowing. It really is, as to where the level is at with this team right now. And today, in that dressing room, with what Ruben Amorim said, apparently the atmosphere is dire at Manchester United right now. It really is. There is nobody happy. The staff don't know whether they're coming or going. It's a horrible atmosphere. It's starting to affect everything going around Carrington, it seems. And when you look at the performance of the players, you look at what's happening today with this news. Ruben Amorim apparently getting angry with the players, going into his rage monster mode and dressing them down and telling them what's what. We've seen this, and probably this has happened with other managers before. Look, we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. We only hear little snippets. But like I said before, with the players that were actually apparently upset with Andre Onana after the Lyon game, I expect that to be more than 2 players. I expect that to be a whole bunch of players unhappy with each other. And if there is anyone letting them down, I expect there to be a lot of fighting going on behind the scenes at the moment and unrest, because things are not right. And if it starts at the top with Ruben Amorim, then I'm all for it. I said this before, it's best to just get it all out, lay it out on the table, tiptoeing around certain players, soft soaping some, and getting some around, just trying to get them involved by making them feel good and all of that. Look, there comes a point where you just say, look, forget it. Enough is enough. And right now, if you are not up for it, you're out the door. That is it. And honestly, you can't get rid of every player, like I said, but obviously there's going to be a lot of players in that squad there that are, I think, up for the high jump. I'm picking out certain players. I did a video before. Obviously, Lindelof and Eriksen are gone, so we can say bye to them. I actually do feel like the likes of Dalot and Garnacho are just not good enough for Manchester United. And they're never going to be able to take United to that next level. Are they at their best value right now? If they are, then you probably look to sell them on. And that way, in a few more years, when they're coming up for renewal, you're not stuck in this awkward situation where the player's not going to leave for nothing and he's going to deteriorate even more. They're both struggling in this system. Next season, both will be on the bench because we'll have bought improvements in and players that are better than them in this system for Ruben Amorim. So what's the point? Back up or money? It's money right now. Needs must. Manchester United are skint. And again, it all comes down to the Europa League. It's quite sad, isn't it? I mean, let's get into the comment section now, everybody. If you are live in the chat, please do get your comments in, everyone. Drop them in after the show is finished. If you're catching up later on as well, thank you, everyone who is in the chat. So well over 100 likes already. Thank you, everybody. Let's get into this and let's give us our thoughts. Please, everyone, let's start off with a couple of super chats. One actually from Welshman Forever says, Adam, I'm hoping to pop down Thursday night so I can meet you off camera and get you to sign my United shirts. Hey, mate, I'm not that big to get to sign a signature, but I will definitely do whatever, mate, and I'll get you a drink as well if you want to come down. We're at Central Bay on Salford Quays before the game on Thursday, mate. If you can get over, that would be fantastic, buddy. I'd love to see anybody who is a supporter of the channel and a subscriber. That would be fantastic. So if you can, please do, mate. That would be excellent. Thank you for the super chat, mate. You didn't need to do that. Okay, do you think Ruben has reacted to the criticism now being aimed at him? And that is the poll running right now. Simple yes or no answer. I'll read it again so it's clear. Do you think Ruben has reacted to the criticism now being aimed at him? So all of a sudden, it's turned, and you can feel it turn. I've known people, and people of subscribers of this channel even, who have backed Ruben Amorim, said this was the best decision that the club has ever made, that are now starting to question Ruben Amorim. I think that says everything where we're at right now. Joe Brindley in the chat says, who really believes that Ineos would buy quality players even if they did have the money for them? They are here for the profit and the stadium, nothing more. I don't agree with that, Joe. I really don't agree in that because there's no profit for them to have. They're bleeding money left, right and centre. So unless they buy players and invest into the club, they're going to earn nothing out of it anyway because they can't afford to fund anything unless United are competing. That's been made abundantly clear. And PSR won't allow them to do that. It won't allow them to invest their money in. So United have to be successful for Ineos to make money in the first place. Because they're not taking dividends out of Manchester United like the Glazers were. They have got their stake in Manchester United to control and run the football club. And that's what they're doing. So the way I look at it is here, if they want money and if they want to make a profit, they have to make Manchester United make a profit, which is, let's be honest, I can't actually remember the last time United actually turned a profit in financial figures. It's been a while. So, yeah, they're trying to undo what the Glazers created. More fool them for dealing with the Glazers, like we've said before. And you do have an element there, Joe, where you are sceptical about what they can do, and you're quite right. But honestly, right now, whichever way you look at it, black and white, it's there in front of everybody. You can read the figures. You can read what they're doing. You can read where they're trying to cut. If they want to make anything, they have to make United successful. That's where the money is. That's where the sponsors are. And right now, if you are playing at the top level, you are earning even more money than this league has ever forked out. So you have to be good. Might be there, Adam. Big up. Nice one. Cheers for that, buddy. We are on Big Up straight after this. Sadly, we're reliving the Newcastle game over on Big Up right after this show, everybody. We'll get the link popped up into the chat for you as well to join us. That's our other platform where we do a lot more content as well. Over there, we will be doing call-ins. We will be making us. We're going to put ourselves through that Newcastle game again. I did a short earlier on YouTube, on TikTok, on other socials as well, criticising and dissecting the situation on the pitch. I'm going to do that in more detail over on Big Up. That's what we can do on Big Up, well live, while watching everything back as well with the highlights. So come and join us there later on. Rayami says, this is the difference rotating defences makes. If De Ligt or Maguire were playing instead of Lindelof, we wouldn't have conceded 4 to 3 goals. Alone came from defensive errors. 3 goals came from defensive errors. They did indeed. It was all about defensive errors and lapses in concentration for Manchester United. And I will be going through all of that on Big Up in just a short time after this show as well. Plenty of time left on this, though. We've got quite a few topics to get through tonight. So keep your comments flooding in, everybody, please. David says, is this what we have come to now as a football club? People thinking Garnacho is good and is our best player. Is that the standard now? Yes. Yeah. The bar ain't high then. No, it's not. And I agree with you on that one, David. I don't think Garnacho is the right standard. I really don't. I think he's a good player. I do believe that he can get better, but he's not a first team starter. He's not a first team 11 player. He's a sub. He's a super sub. There is a better team for him that fits the way he wants to play, but it's not going to be Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. And this is what I keep on saying. Adam Andrews said that Barada is leaving. Is that right? Do you know? It's not Barada, it's Blanc. Jean-Claude Blanc is stepping down from his director's role at Manchester United. Still working for the club, but is obviously doing a different gig. He's not up there at the director level anymore. So God knows what's gone on there. Honestly, no idea. But that's in the depths of the club, and that's in everything else that's going on right now. So let's see. I mean, when you look at, say, for instance, Ruben's spat or his dressing down of the players today, I personally think it will get us through the game. I think these players, when you get into them and you put your all into them and you sugarcoat them, rig them up, give them the necessary riot act or whatever it is, if you make it all about one game, these players can get through it. We showed that in the FA Cup final. The amount of work that the United staff had to get through to to get a performance out of Manchester United, like videos from their loved ones going into this game. It's an FA Cup final against City. Like, Manchester United should just be turning up and knowing exactly what the plan is and what they're going to do. No preferential, no special treatment at all. The things that we're having to do to get performances out of this team right now is embarrassing. It is completely embarrassing. So the issue, I think, there is maybe we get through one game. Do we have to do it all over again because we're probably going to lose or have a bad performance against Wolves on Saturday? This is the fear. It's not sustainable. It's like Ruben is telling them right now that this is your career at Manchester United and it could be over in a heartbeat. If you don't improve over the next 6 games, 6 weeks, whatever it is that's left of this season, then you're out of the door. Now, which players that is, it could be everybody. It really could. But again, I just don't think this is going to even sink in with these players. I think it's not pointless. And Ruben does have to stick up for himself. He does have to defend himself because he's tried a lot. He has tried to change things at United and it's not worked. It hasn't worked. We have got worse under Ruben Amorim. And even I have to admit that. I can see the positives in what he's trying to do, but we have on paper got worse. I've said this, and I said this before. If Wolves beat us at weekend, which is doable, Wolves are in good form, and if they do, we're on level points with them. And then we've got West Ham. David Moyes, can you imagine him coming back to Old Trafford and beating United? That would be the height of embarrassment for us. That would be the end, I think, of a lot of United fans this season. That would be them giving up, unless we are in the Europa League. The only thing keeping us alive, and I think this is the point in this, it's clinging on to the edge of that cliff. We're hanging on by a thread right now. We're fingernails onto our season. And it's all down to that Thursday night game against Lyon. You heard what Bruno said. You heard what Ruben said after the game. Now, behind the scenes, we're hearing this today. This is all geared towards Thursday night. Just to try and get a big reaction out of these players. And just to get something else. It's not going to matter. It really won't matter for Manchester United players. They'll get through this week. I think we will beat Lyon. I think we will beat them and definitely head into the semi-final. I'm confident they can capitulate like they did against Newcastle. Of course they can, but I feel like there's too much crap gone on. And if they fail this week, there is nowhere for them to hide. Because they're at Old Trafford now, week after week after week. 2 weeks in a row, in fact. Wolves and then West Ham. And there's nowhere for him to go. It's literally, come on, face the music, boys. And we know that these players cannot handle it. They really can't. The analysis that I did on Amas was jumped onto from comments that were happening on X. Some people saying that he was at fault for that second goal in the game against Newcastle, the Harvey Barnes one. So I made an analysis on that, and I just thought it was scandalous how people were actually overly criticising that moment for Harry Amas. I really do. Manchester United's academy players are playing tonight as well. Quickly, just going into the team. If you want to see some decent football, then go watch the under-21s if they're on. I'm not even sure if they're on, actually. But the starting lineup is Harrison, Murray, Monroe, Konkate, Rowe, Kone, Tyler Fletcher, Scanlon, Mantato, Obe and Biancheri. That is a strong under-21s team right there, made up predominantly of under-18s players as well. So go watch that game. That will have quality in it. But like I said earlier on, we'll touch on Obe and if he's actually going to feature. So if he's playing for the under-21s tonight, that means he will be available for Man United against Wolves on Saturday. Obviously, he cannot play against Lyon on Thursday. He's not eligible. So that realistically is United gearing him up, getting his game time in. Maybe we can get him on the pitch against Wolves as another option for Rasmus Højlund, because right now, going off what we're hearing about Joshua Zirkzee and no scan results yet, Rasmus Højlund is effectively the only striker we have for the Europa League now. We have nobody else. There is no other number 9, so Chido is going to have to play some of these Premier League games. We might as well move forward onto the next subject on that as well with Manchester United. No, actually, quickly, I forgot about another story that I was going to talk about, which was Andre Onana rolling up to Carrington today. As you should, it's training. I don't know why I made a big deal about that. Sorry. I'm not having a go at him. He should have been at training. He was at training. So that's what's happening. he also rolled in with his agents. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out today and said that there are several offers on the table for Andre Onana from the Saudi Pro League, for Andre Onana. And there is a real chance that he could be leaving this summer. There is a possibility that he could be sold. Now, that is interesting. It's funny, isn't it? Why is Andre Onana turned up to training with his agent? What is that all about? Is his agent coming in and kicking off because he's not in the team? Is his agent not happy about all the criticism that's coming in to his player? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that is the case, but I have actually been warned by a journalist before a lot of the stuff that I do will affect what access I would get at Manchester United. By what I'm saying about players. My own personal experience, not made up, real, factual, nothing that anybody else has said, just what I know and what I've been told to my face. And that's the way it works. It's pretty sad. I know, you're not allowed to say anything these days, but yeah, why would his agent be with him? That's an interesting one. It's not the norm, I don't think, that agents roll in. He's only just signed 18 months ago. Oh, longer than that, near enough now, but there's no reason why he would be there. Like, it is worrying that he's rolling in there with his agents. Maybe he's going there to actually read his own riot act to the club. I should be playing more. Look, I doubt it. It's all just a bit of fluff there from me. But I actually feel like there probably is more to why his agent is with him today. And hopefully it is for the sale of the player and the possibility that he could move on in the summer. That, I think, would be great news for us because we need to be getting rid of the crap and we need to be bringing in better. And it starts with the back. It starts with, nearly every position that we've got available, apart from a few defenders, maybe Bruno. Doggu's not really smashed it just yet, has he? He's still got time again. And I want to give these younger players a bit of a break. I do. But we're starved of success right now here at Manchester United, and the fans want more. So, Romano has said that Andre Onana is definitely an option leaving this summer, and Manchester United are looking at options. There are several from the Saudi Pro League. That sounds encouraging to me. It really does sound like Manchester United are looking at moving Andre Onana on, and we do know that we are actively looking for another goalkeeper. Various people, various sources have talked about this now, so it's looking likely that Andre is out of the door. MB Creator says, isn't it interesting that some fans are disappointed with Xerxes' injury, but were silent each week when Amorim was starting Rasmus ahead of him and only giving 15 to 20 minutes. 17-year-old Obi will save him. I don't know, MB Creator, to be honest on that. I think you're digging a little bit there, mate, to be fair. Ruben was not using Casemiro. Now he is using him. He's having to learn himself here and go along with what he's got. He's having to find out. Obviously, if he's got Rasmus Højlund, he is the fastest and most agile number 9 that we've got. And that would suit his system. But it's not worked. He's having to find the best position because Amorim has come out and actually said that Xerxes has told him that he isn't a number 9. So why did United buy him in the first place? When you've got a player coming out and saying that he's not a number 9, he's like an in-between. And let's not forget, Ten Hag couldn't get anything out of Xerxes. Ruben's got the best out of Xerxes. So that's the facts, I think, with that one. And I think Xerxes has taken it upon himself to dig in and actually turn his career around at Manchester United. If anybody deserves a bit of credit, it's not Amorim, it's Xerxes himself for actually turning his career around. He has actually grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and gone, no, I'm not just going to buckle. I'm going to try and get things moving again for myself. And he has done that. He more than has done that. Barry says, so what happened to free speech, Adam? Oh, God, ask United that, Babs. And you'll get a long list of different circumstances that tell you what you can and can't do. Honestly, oh, God, the world, I think it's not just United, it is everything else, isn't it? Xerxes is better than Rasmus, but he's far from the answer. He's the best of a terrible bunch. Do you know what, Carl, on that one, you're probably right on that, but let's not forget Xerxes isn't a number 9. He isn't, and he shouldn't be relied on to do that role and get the goals. He wasn't prolific when he was over in Bologna. And that, I think, is again down to poor recruitment from Man United. Surely you've got to look into that side of things before you actually make that signing. Because that's the only forward United brought in the summer, which is disgraceful on its own, knowing what we already had. And again, like Ruben thrown into the mix into all of this, he's having to navigate his way through all sorts of different circumstances from stuff that's gone wrong with Manchester United behind the scenes. It's not fair. It really isn't. Joe Burnley said, Chido is going to be very good, but we cannot pin our hopes on this kid right now or even next year. He's not Rooney. Nobody's Rooney, mate. Definitely not, Joe. And he needs to be given the time to be nurtured, brought through, adapt, learn, and improve and progress. He's not going to if he's thrust right in and expected to save Manchester United. This is what happened to Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo. And now, obviously, we're in a position where we are running these young players into the ground and they're starting to struggle. And it's starting to backfire on United, where it all looked good. Højlund playing lots of games, Garnacho playing lots of games, Kobbie playing lots of games. Now it's starting to catch up with them, and we're getting the back end of it in this season because they do look knackered. They look absolutely dead on their feet. United Spotlight, again, that's my point. And if we had good 10s, he would be nowhere near the team. He's a bench player, mate. He's a bench player to come on, Xerxes. Just like Garnacho is, just like Rasmus Højlund is. They're all squad players, not good enough to be starting for Manchester United. They're the facts, and that's what we're dealing with. We're pinning our hopes on squad players to try and dig us out of this hole, and it's not fair on them. You're not going to get the results out of these players. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I do want to move on to the injury update on everything as well. So, right now, we are looking at Matthias de Ligt as the obvious hope for Manchester United coming back. He's in the gym. He's back training in the gym. So, in recovery mode. But, from what we're told, it is still going to be a few weeks away. So, de Ligt, don't expect him back anytime soon. We may see Matthias de Ligt possibly for the start of May. Alongside, well, actually, Ahmad now has got a better chance of coming back before Matthias de Ligt. So, that tells you everything. Don't expect to see de Ligt over the next few games anyway. He's training in the gym. He's doing his recovery work. We're over the worst of it. So, good news for Matthias de Ligt, but still out for what looks like a few weeks. That's the update on that as well. Obviously, Joshua Zirkzee right now, we're just waiting for that scan results. The scan was today apparently, but no results have been broadcast yet, or nobody knows exactly what's come out of that scan. We will find out soon enough, and obviously I'll have you covered here on FUTV when that does happen. But good news on Matthias de Ligt in terms of him recovering. We've seen the pictures today of Ahmad on grass. Them pictures sneaked out into social media circles again today, which is great news. And just to see him back running and then running on grass is a big, big positive. So, get through this tie on Thursday and Ahmad will be available for the semi-final. That's definite now. So, this is what it's all leading to again. The big bust-ups, the big dressing downs and meetings and emergency meetings from Ruben Amorim and everything that's going on right now is all geared towards this quarter-final, second leg against Lyon. Can United get through? If we get into the semi-final, we will have a few more options, and that being Ahmad being back for selection for United. And you know what? I said this before, he deserves the chance to be playing for something when he comes back from injury, because let's be honest, without him this season, I'd say without him and Bruno, United would be relegated. It's as simple as that. The only ones putting up the numbers. It's shit. It is, innit? But that's it. We bought Ruben to make these big calls. I hope he does get rid of the crap in Ruben. I trust, says Sean. Ugarte and Mazraoui are squad players as well. I know I like Mazraoui, mate. I do. I think Mazraoui I think he struggled because he's had to adapt to the back three, which he is getting used to. And he had a bad game yesterday. Mistake that led to the goal, which killed us. But he's been performing well, I think, and I think he's got a bad rap just because of a shocker of a result yesterday. I think Mazraoui, look, will he be first choice in that back three when everyone's fit? I don't think so. So you could say there you've got an argument. I just don't want him to be sort of put into the same category as some of these other players who we know have been shit and have been awful for Manchester United. So that's all I'm saying about Mazraoui. I think he deserves a little bit more praise. He's been consistent this season amongst a bunch of shite, and that I think that needs to be put into perspective as well, and it does need to be brought up, because I think that's where United, I think, have let players down as well. Players that have come into this are obviously now part instantly of our worst ever team, and it's not their fault. Really, it's not. Let's get into some more comments on this. They are lazy players, a lack of effort, not enough goals, says David. Can we get Dean Henderson back after watching him against City? No, thank you, mate. Steve O says maybe we need to sell Mainu and Garnacho, Adam, to get more experienced players in. I don't know what the plan is, but as far as I know, Garnacho, possibly Mainu, is a no-go. He's staying, he's signing that contract. That's all I know right now anyway. Ruben Amorim, every single United player. Well, Ruben Amorim over every single United player, says Ginge. And that won't change until he's had time with his players. Not a mismatch of shite from other managers. He costs 12 million. Who cares if he don't work in the future? We sell for a profit, as in Mazraoui, I think Stu's going on about there. And Bab says, well, they did try to spoil my birthday, but I guess I'll still sing for them on Thursday and Sunday, as I am a professional. Happy birthday yesterday, Babs. Hope you had a fantastic day, by the way. Sorry about the game and United letting you down again, but I think you obviously had an inkling that might happen. That might happen. Ahmad back, is that right? He's back on grass, class of 99, back on grass and in full-on recovery mode now. Exciting times, because we could have him back if we do get through into that semi-final after beating Lyon as well. Quickly, I did actually just mention earlier on, someone asked a question. Someone got mixed up with Omar Barada leaving his role at Manchester United. It wasn't him. It was Jean-Claude Blanc, director at Manchester United, has left his role as a director, but not the club. He's still working for the club. There has been a club statement come out to say he has stepped down as a director, but he is going to be taking up another role within Manchester United, and that's the update on that one. The deadline to complete your ID check is 6 p.m. this Friday, 18th of April. Submit yours now to renew your season tickets. Help and guidelines are here. God, that was a tweet that's put out by United. I better do my ID check. I've not done it yet. Forcing fans into ID checking to renew their season tickets. Good God, like, panic to get that money in. Oh my days, seriously. But yeah, in terms of just a roundup of everything that I've been talking about so far, the meeting that Ruben called was an emergency meeting that he needed to get the players together for, because he is an angry man and he's not happy with how things are actually going. So that has caused a bit of a ruckus within Manchester United's headquarters today. So yes, mate, mine came inconclusive, said Saeed. Oh, Saeed's in the chat and he said that his ID check came. Oh God, honestly, it makes me laugh, doesn't it? Some of these things. God. Saeed's been kicked out of Man United. Oh, dearie me. Man, that's embarrassing. I better check mine, actually, just to make sure that I've still got a ticket. God, they're trying to get rid of us all. Anyway, just quickly, yeah, Ruben's kicked off. Players have been told it's now or never, as in you're out the club in the summer. Injury updates on Manchester United players. De Ligt's back in the gym. He's going to be missing for a few weeks still while he does his recovery. Andre Onana rolled into Carrington today with his agents. Why? We don't know, but Romano has come out and said that there are several offers from the Saudi Pro League and there is a real possibility that Onana could be out of the door this summer. We didn't think anybody would come in with the Wonga to actually remove Onana from Manchester United. Romano is saying otherwise, so I'm going to cling on to that with everything that I've got and hold Romano to his word that Andre is out of the door this summer. Please make that happen and please be real, Mr. Fabrizio Romano. All United fans are holding you to that going into the summer, so make it happen. I'm going to go into the poll. I want to check on this. We've had quite a few votes on this. Do you think Ruben has reacted to the criticism now being aimed at him? This has changed a little bit over the space of the show after our conversation. The vote is now saying 69% of you, yes, he's reacting to the criticism aimed at him. 31% of you saying no now. I think he's just fed up in general. But I do believe that it's now starting to get to him. Look, we went through the record yesterday. It's appalling. United have got worse. Under Ruben Amorim, United are shit. There's no other way we can describe it. The whole season is riding on us winning that game and winning the Europa League. United, under Ruben Amorim, have won 6 of the last 21 league games. It's relegation form. It really is relegation form. And we deserve to be where we are. So Ruben is probably lashing out today because he is now going to be the manager that he says Manchester United are. The worst in Premier League history. That's what this team is. And Ruben's a part of that. And Ruben has created this form by trying to change things. And no matter how hard you look as to the positives like I do, and I still will, I am obviously aware that United are lying 14th in the bastard table and we are absolute dog shit. And every single player, as professional as they say they are really not. Because they cannot change the way that Ruben wants them to. And then like what Gary Neville said earlier on today, he can see effort. It's not like it was before when we had quality. You had your Ashfords, you had your Pogbas, you had your Greenwoods, your Sanchos, you had all of these other players at Manchester United. You had the quality on paper, but you didn't have the effort. Now it's the different way round. And I do agree a little bit with what Gary Neville says. It is like we are seeing a bit of effort, but they're just not good enough. And Ruben, I think, is clutching at straws a little bit. I think he is feeling it now. I think he is actually now, with things like this being reported and him dressing the players down, arguing, fallouts, players being kicked out, told that they're leaving in the summer if they don't buck up their ideas. I think this is a last throw of the dice. This is for this season anyway. But going past this season into the summer, all of this counts for absolutely nothing unless Ineos step in and give Ruben what he needs, which is the power to get rid of, first and foremost, and then bring in actual quality players. That is our show tonight, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please do give the video a like on the way out. We're just about to hit 300 while live. That needs to be up there, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of the show tonight. Lots of great comments, lots of brilliant interactions in there as well. New members, welcome. Subscribers also as well. Mods, fantastic job in the chats. Everyone who got involved, brilliant. If I didn't get your message, please do drop your comment in after the live is finished. I'll catch you all over on Big Up. We're going to do a full-on breakdown of all of what happened at St James's Park. Yes, I'm going to go into more detail on that short video that I put out on the channel earlier on. We're going to go through everything on Big Up in just a moment's time. So please do hit that link in the live chat now. Join us over there and we'll break everything down again. Cheers, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you in just a moment over